Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to work with files, find them, read them and write on them. So here in Google Colab you can click on this folder icon and here you can create new file. For example, let me call it test, not test, maybe again product. Let's go with the products.txt. Let me double click on this. As you can see, we write, for example, apple 5, banana 7, milk 3, egg 1, and I saved it with Command S. Now I have this file, okay, products.txt. But how can I actually read it? Because sometimes you get a file which is extremely long, extremely complicated. The texts they don't look clear like this. We need to access document and clear it accordingly, like clear, for example, some values, some extra unnecessary spaces. We need to get it in the right format. But first, to do this, we need to be able to find the file, right? To do this, we will import library OC. This will be our first import operation. Import this library so that you can use its default functions, so that you can write only one keyword and basically work their code. I will show you today the OS library, which is very useful while working with files. So here, first we need a path, okay. File path equals to, we need path of this document. We will just enter its name here. And now we say Python, hey, my file path is this, because its name it's just here, okay. And then you say if OS, to use OS libraries functions, you need to write its name and then put a dot. Now here you can see we can access this library. We're gonna do path exists, and then we're gonna enter here file path. Sorry, put this, and then we'll print success. Okay, we're gonna do else statement too, so that if it gives an error, we're gonna know what's wrong. Else print file location doesn't exist. And we can also here write file location, file path here. Let me also put F here. Okay, so we don't have product.txt, right? It's products, so it will check here, it can find it or not. Here OS path exists will be false because it wouldn't be able to find product.txt because it's wrong. Let me do it like this actually. Products, for example, PDF, okay. It won't be able to find this here because it's txt, so it will print error. File location products PDF doesn't exist, so we're gonna say, oh, because it's txt. Okay, that's what's wrong. Success. So now we have the file. So basically it's easy as that. Since now we have our file, we can open it so that we can work on that. First, I'll show you how to read a file, and then I'll show you how to write on a file, how to modify it actually. So we can say with open file path. So we are saying that open my file. This Python will ask, okay, I will open it, but do you want to read it or write something on it? We're gonna say, for now, I'm just gonna read it. So we enter here R, okay. So we say Python with open it, this file products.txt, because it's successful, we have that file, and I'm gonna read it, so we put R here, and then we're gonna say just as file, okay. We're gonna open it as file, and here we can say text, what can I name this variable, content, file content equals to file dot read, and then we can print file content. So why do we need this with open thing? Because when you open a file, it's very important that you close it after your job is done. Okay, you don't want to open files and then leave them opened. You need to close it. But if you open file like this with open, you can see here this code. You can remember this one from if, else, and loops or functions. This code will work when the file is open, but when you're done and you start coding, when you delete the space and continue coding like this file will be automatically closed. So you don't need to worry about closing files. You don't care about like, did I forget my file in an open state? No, because it will be closed by itself when you use with open. It's very useful, I think. Let me print the content. As you can see, it just prints the same txt here. But what if you want to somehow modify it, right? For example, what if you don't want this space here? You might need to remove this space or remove comma, right? I will show it to you. But first, as I said, with open is it's secure, but there's also one thing that you may want to prevent or avoid. If your file path is wrong, you're gonna get error, okay? So what you can do is you can use try method. I know I didn't show it yet, but you can just memorize it. Try actually tries to run this code, and if it gives an error, you can say except here, except here, file not found error, print. You can actually copy paste this. This location doesn't exist. So what try will do here, try will just try to run this code basically, and if your file path is wrong, for example, let me do it product, getting an error is not a good thing usually, because your code stops running. You get a crash. If this is a software or mobile application, anything, your user won't be able to do anything. They will just get crash and they will complain about software, right? Whoa, why do I get an error? They may not aware that they entered their file name wrong. So you need to actually catch the error, let the code continue running. So here try will try to run this, and if it gets an error, throws file not found, you can use it. Here file location doesn't exist. We already did it, but user doesn't care, also tries to run this. Oops. If we didn't do try, let me control command Z, we will get a crash error here. As you can see, it doesn't exist. So let me fix here. Also fix here too. Invalid syntax. Okay. As you can see now, again it works. Now imagine you want to create a list or dictionary. New product dictionary. Okay, we want to create this one. We will create it as empty and we will fill it according to the variables in our txt file. So okay, let me actually use this one. Instead of print here, we will define our dictionary. We'll define our dictionary and then we'll try to open it. And while it's open, we're gonna read it, and file content, the name is data. So here our data is 5, right? But what if we do, for example, for item in data, okay, print item. What do you think? What's our item in data? What do you think? They are just letters, because the read method works like this. They just read. In each loop, it just reads one letter and that's it. But we want words, and then we want its value so that we can create our dictionary, right? Because then we're gonna do here, let me write it. If we can have it, we can do we will update our dictionary, updates. Okay, we can print them. We're gonna update them with item and value actually. So we need those, right? How can we do it? First of all, we have split function. Okay, we have split. What split does is that it's gonna remove spaces. It's gonna remove the spaces and takes this one and then this one, this one and then this one, this one, and then it takes this one. So instead of taking every letter, it will divide the content according to the spaces. It's very useful, but also we don't need comma, and we need values and keys separately. Instead of reading like this, word by word, letter by letter, sorry. By the way, I didn't solve this case immediately because sometimes you need this method, sometimes you just need split, but for our case, we're gonna do something different. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do for line in file. This method reads file line by line. If you can remember, 5 minutes ago I printed it and it printed exactly like this because it just reads line by line defaultly. For line in file, for each line we're gonna clean the line. Okay, clean line equals line dot stripe. We're gonna use stripe method. Strip, was it strip? Strip just cleans spaces, so the file is going to look like this, each line. And now what we want to do, we want to split them, right? Split into key and value, key and value. How can we split them? We have comma, right? We're gonna use comma to split them. Here we're gonna do item equals to cleaned line dot split. Okay, like this. So now we're gonna split each line using comma. An item will be item will look like our exactly the desired item. Okay, and here we're gonna say key, item key equals to item 0. Why? Because right now item looks like this. So we opened file, okay, and our file in this point looks like this. In each loop it's this line, and the second loop it's gonna be this line. Okay, so let me go with the first line. In this line looks like this, and clean line strip method removes spaces. Now we have this, and now we want to split them, and our item looks like this: apple and 5. Now what do we want? We want key and value. Item key, you know, list right now. In list, 0 index is actually the first item, and first index is second item. And item value. Now you have key and the value from this file. And then new product, what did it write? Okay, we can maybe delete this. New product dictionary update, item key, item value. Now we add dictionary each line, each item. And we can print our new dictionary here. As you can see now, we have dictionary, which we protected the file, then we read it accordingly and modified it as we wanted. We created a new dictionary and filled it. You may need to do these operations in much complicated files, but I think this is a very good example. And now I will show you a small writing. How can we write? If you want to add another item here, how can we do it? I will show it to you. Again, we're gonna open the file. So let me copy paste here. But now, as I told you before, this is the path and this is the mode. Okay, we wrote R because we wanted to read. We could write A, we could write X, we could write also W, and this time, since we're gonna write a file, we're gonna write W. X and W are very same. X will create new file, but if there is already a file exists which has the same name, it will give an error, but we want to modify this one, so we're gonna print W. File. Okay, that's right, it already completed it. What can we add here? Let's add cheese and 11. Let me run this and open products again. and as you can see, it has cheese. So it basically opens the file and writes something on it. Imagine that we have a dictionary, new products dictionary, new products. Let me change the name a bit, and inside it we're gonna have apple, 5, banana, 7, and x, 1. We want to write this one inside the file. Imagine that. Oh my god, just Google Colab is so good. For key and value in dictionary items, you can remember this from dictionary. So we get key and value, and we're gonna write key and value in the file. We're gonna put comma and space here because the original format is like that. So let me run this and let me open the file again, and as you can see, it doesn't work because it doesn't work. Okay, now it works. But we have empty space here because we loop 3 times, and the 4th time, because of this new line thing, we have another empty space, but it's okay for our case. So you use writing like this, okay? Inside this write function, whatever you write, you can write it to the file. For example, we could do like file write here again. Just write, hey, stupid. So each time it would write, hey here, hey, hey, hey. By the way, it didn't print hey here because we use and line. This and is actually ends the line. It just puts enter at the end of the sentence. So that's why we first hey is here. If you delete and, then it would look like this. See, it doesn't put any enter. This actually finishes the sentence. Also, that's why we have an empty space in the last place. So I think it's enough for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next video.